Welcome to your demo of Purpose Net Zero. My name is Marley Finnegan. I'm the founder of Purpose Net Zero. My events industry experience spans 17 years in all aspects of the industry. I'm thrilled to share more on why we created the simplest emissions management solution for live events. When we decided to go all in on live event sustainability, we quickly realized there was no efficient way to manage the largest category of event-related emissions, those related to attendee travel. Purpose Net Zero emissions management journey begins simply by pulling a few data points from your attendees during the event registration experience. This works with any event registration software once integrated, and we already have an integration with Swoogo. Our simple integration consists of connecting the two technologies to communicate the data in which we need. Once integrated, attendees don't experience anything different than their typical registration experience. Purpose Net Zero pulls a few data points from the registration process, such as specific questions around attendees' chosen modes of transit. This is where things get interesting. Let's dive into the tool so that we can further navigate the experience. So when you enter, you're greeted by a host dashboard. I have the admin portal, but each tenant would have a very specific portal, and each client is their own tenant. So essentially here, you would be able to filter down by event. So you would have a list of your events here. You can also filter down by time frames. So weekly, monthly, yearly, you can filter by months up here as well for reporting purposes. So I'm going to go ahead and select DMG Global Events, and I'm going to filter into the leisure show. Okay, so we're going to go to that event, the leisure show here. There's also an option for you to be able to upload attendee files. So if you do not choose to go with the event registration integration, this is another access point to be able to calculate your event's emissions footprint by managing the data yourself. But so for the leisure show, when we go down here, we are able to see some really great insights. So we're able to see, okay, majority of these attendees are coming by train. Another actually very small footprint are coming by plane, and otherwise by automobile. So down inside of our statistics, we see our total CO2 by metric ton. We see that there's 100 attendees expected to attend this event. It's 61% complete because only 61 attendees have registered for the event so far. And the 61 that have registered so far is calculating at $987.37 as far as CO2 costs to offset, or rather remove carbon from the atmosphere relative to this event's footprint. Right now, we are calculating carbon removal at $25 a metric ton based on our partnership with Climate Vault, and they fund carbon removal projects to essentially neutralize our events to net zero for travel purposes. Filtering in further, if we go into the calculations, this is where things can get really quite interesting. So we have external IDs for each attendee assigned. So this is something you can manage a couple of different ways. Further, we can also gather email addresses, we can gather other information here, and we can also tag each of these IDs with tags such as VIP, top client, staff, so that you can further understand the journey of each person by sub-segment. So say out of this group of 61 people, you wanted to arrange a dinner for 10 of your top VIP clients, and you wanted to make that location based on the most optimized emissions or the most optimized attendance. So the location nearest by these 10 folks, or most convenient to these 10 folks, where they are most likely to attend your event. Otherwise, you can also do a test of 3 different cities and see which of these cities is actually going to be our lowest emissions option. So once you have the data for your attendees, there are many ways that you can start to manage that throughout the process. So let's go back to the dashboard and check out another event. So here we are. We have a little bit different. This one seems to be a much more local event with high automobiles, which include personal taxi and ride share calculations. Right now we have 21 metric tons of CO2e. We have 50 attendees. All 50 are registered. So our CO2e cost to manage the event emissions related to travel for this event is $533.08. So now we're going to walk you through how easy it is to create a new event. So here, because we have many clients that have many events within the system, you can either upload a logo or you can color code your events with a variety of different color avatars. Essentially, we're going to put in the name. We're going to also put in the convention center or the venue name, which is essentially the endpoint location of where all these attendees are gathering. We're going to do the dates. We're going to do addresses. We're also going to include the expected number of attendees, expected number of exhibitors. And here's the best little detail to know. You can click this button here to allow individual attendees to cover their own emissions footprint. So what this does is during their registration process, we communicate back to them a price that can be added onto their event registration total. Will then aggregate to be able to cover their portion of their emissions towards the event. We can include number of expected staff, and we can also go down to industry.
Thanks for joining us for our demo of Purpose Net Zero. We look forward to assisting you on your event emissions management journey.